Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a very easy and simple, everyday kind of cup of chai. For this, you're going to need black tea leaves, sugar if you like sugar, some kind of dairy, and obviously water. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make a great cup of chai. I have a saucepan here and I'm going to start it off with about 2 cups of water. An essential part of cooking with tea leaves is knowing how your tea leaves are going to behave when they hit the hot pot. So I want to make sure that my water is sweet enough in order to take the tea leaves. I'm adding sugar to my chai, and you're more than welcome to change it up if you like. This is about a large tablespoon. And since I have 2 cups, I'm going to add 2 large tablespoons of sugar. For today's tea, I'm using an Earl Grey. This is about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half, and I'm going to give it a watch in a few minutes and see how it's doing. If I find some point along the way, before it completely boils, that the tea is not taking on the deep flavor that I want it to, I will add a few more teaspoons of tea leaves to this. But the water is aromatic already. I'm just going to dust this in. My typical calculation on a cup of tea is 1 cup of tea equals 1 teaspoon of black tea. The water is getting extremely aromatic. Now if you want to add more flavor to this, if you feel like your tea leaves are starting to they're not as great as you expected them to be, you're more than welcome to add something else to it. Ginger is a great additive to this. You can add mint, you can add a combination. So that is up to you. It's based on how you like your tea. I don't want anything in here, and that's why we're just going to start with a basic cup of chai. One of the things that's an essential ingredient or essential kitchen tool when you're making tea is a little sieve. And I've talked about the sieve often. To have a small, a fine-grained sieve that allows you to keep your flavors together, that doesn't allow the tea leaves to fall through. So don't use a cheesecloth if you don't have any other kind of strainer. Look in the markets for an inexpensive cheap little strainer, and it'll serve you well. Usually, a lot of people like to use tea balls, and tea balls are great if you're looking for a very, very light tea. But for something like this that's a dense flavor, that you're looking for the full body flavor of the tea, you want the tea leaves to dance on their own in the hot water, and that's why you let them do their thing in there, and then you strain out the leaves using a little strainer. I'm peeking over to see the color of the tea, and it has taken on a very dark amber kind of oak color. And that means to me that this is as good as this is as far as I want it to go. So I'm turning the heat down just so that I don't get steam on myself. And I'm going to add a spot of full cream or whole milk to it. I've added about a half a cup of whole milk into this, and I'm going to let this come back to a boil. What this is going to do is actually infuse the milk or the dairy that I've put in here with the tea flavor and the aroma. So it gives a much denser, deeper flavor to your cup of chai. So give this a second and I'll get my teacups ready for serving. As it comes to a boil again, you will see the color return to this really nice woody tone, and I'm going to turn the heat down so it doesn't boil over. As you can tell, the color on this has gone from when we started with white water to the amber color of tea that didn't have the dairy, and now this, which is a beautiful oak kind of color. So I'm going to strain this into cups. Bit for later. So here you have a wonderful and easy way to make a cup of chai. Enjoy!